I swear I washed my bangs today. Do I look like Wednesday? Oh, that's not a look. Well, they're just gonna look rough. Ugh, I washed them today. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about my rules that I've kind of sort of set up for my get through everything on my bookshelf series that I'm going to be making. I gotta come up with some better name. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this, but my goal is to read every single book I have on my shelf, because I've either bought it over the years with the intention of reading it, and then either my undergrad got in the way, or life got in the way, or I just kind of forgot that I bought it and I left it on my shelf, or I had to buy it to read it in my undergrad and it was something I just couldn't get through. So I'm gonna finally get through it now, very, very late in the game. Or someone gifted me a book, or I received one, that kind of thing. I do have a whole collection of classics on my shelf that I have, most of them I haven't opened before, and the whole reason I collected them in the first place, it was a 3 for $10, and I knew I was going to be a high school teacher, so I wanted to have access to my own copies in case I needed to share them with students and that kind of thing, because they're usually and traditionally in most book rooms, so I wanted to have access to that. Now that things have changed in the past couple years, it was kind of for naught, but at least I have a book collection. We'll be going through those over time. I will have either a Google Doc, a Canva presentation, I don't know what I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna have a link below if you wanna see the list of books that I have planned to read on my bookshelf. In the description below, I will link the Etsy account I got this from, but I think there's a very similar book chart on Canva, so if you wanna use that instead, you can. Of course, support your artists, but I believe this was just a Canva page anyway. So this is what it looks like. I have 3 more, and I have a lot of books that I'm actually missing that I'll have to add in. Anything in gray I've already read, which is not a lot on this one, and I can guarantee there's not a lot on the others as well, which is really sad. But anything in gray I've already read, I will go back and reread it. I have a color code scheme that I'm gonna go through my first video with everyone, and I'll go through it every video just to bring it back up. And I will color in that book based on how I felt about it. The ones in gray, I will just like color over or figure that part out. Don't know why I did that when I was gonna do the color coordination, but whatever. I already kind of know how I feel about the grayed out books, but I want to give a nice analysis that's fresh and new. We're probably gonna start off with The Hunger Games because I re-listened to it several times this summer. I taught The Hunger Games, I taught Sunrise on the Reaping recently, and I'm just finishing A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's one of my favorite series of all time, so we're probably gonna start there. But the whole reason I started with this series in the first place is in my American literacy course that I took in my 3rd year. So, oh my gosh, I think that was like 2017, 2018 or something. It was a while ago now. We had to read Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates, which I did not believe read, which is a part of the literacy problem that we are seeing today. But I am trying to combat that one day at a time and one book at a time. I'm doing that with myself, I'm doing that with my students. And I really want to read Revolutionary Road for multiple reasons. One, Kurt Vonnegut made a review on the back of this book, and I love Kurt Vonnegut, so if you haven't read any of his works, I highly suggest it. We will go through Slaughterhouse-Five before any of his other works, that is for sure. But Revolutionary Road is the reason I'm doing this, because even though I haven't finished it, I have not read it fully, my professor said something in that class that affected me still to this day. I don't know if it is in this book. I tried to look up the quote, see if I could find it real quick. But there is a description of a young couple, and they have a giant bookshelf in their home that is just full of books that have never been opened. And that is a key point that the author points out. And my professor was talking about how so many people want to look intelligent, want to be intelligent and pretend that they are, but they don't actually do the work to be intelligent. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that has so many books that I have never read. I want to be able, if somebody comes and, well, this is in my room, but if I were to have a bookshelf out that people could see publicly, I could be like, oh, I really enjoyed this book because blah, blah, blah. Now, I was an avid reader, but most of my books that I read were either from the library or they're from my kid collection, and I only have one series really that I still have from my childhood, which is the Sisters Grimm, and I will be covering that one in full detail later on as well because it is one of my favorite series of all time. We're gonna try to do, anytime I read a new book, either I'm gonna read it on the fly randomly, and I'm just gonna randomly throw on a video once I'm done the book and do a review of it. I will talk about if I loved it, if I hated it, but I'm also, if I hate it and I can't finish something, I have to explain why it's still something that you should read. Because just because someone doesn't like something, that doesn't mean it's a bad book. For example, with me, sci-fi is not really my cup of tea, but there's the odd sci-fi story that really gets me. Doctor Who is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and that is all sci-fi. And I normally absolutely hate sci-fi stories. So there's gonna be some times where I just don't like a specific genre, or I just don't like something about it, but that doesn't mean it's a bad book, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't go try it yourself. You might find value in things that I don't find value in, and vice versa. Maybe we agree, maybe we don't, and that's okay. That's the coolest thing about having nuance and discussions about literacy and literature, is getting those different perspectives and talking about them together. Another reason why I wanted to start this channel and this project as a whole as well is I've seen a lot of discourse online about book talk and also an overconsumption of content creation, book creation, just any form of engagement and creation just done en masse for consumption, for views, for clicks. I want people to start getting back into literature, into anything really, just for the enjoyment of it. That's something I've struggled with in the past couple years, and I'm currently trying to push through now. This channel is one thing I'm trying to do as a passion project just for me. I do a lot of stuff online already, and a lot of different projects as well while trying to voice act and teach. But this is really something for myself to try to make a community here and try to hopefully push people to start engaging more with their literature, engaging more with works, and starting to do research on their own and not just taking everything they see online for what people say. Doing their own analysis and their own reviews. And hopefully we can build a wonderful community where we all share what we love about our books. Maybe you start a series like this too. You read everything on your bookshelf. If you do, tag me in it so I can see your progress and see what books you read. Maybe we can do a book club one day. I don't know. That's like really pushing it for me because I don't socialize, but but maybe one day we can have that. I would like that. So if you're interested in this series, please subscribe and like so you can follow along. Keep updated on when I post videos. I will not only just be doing this series, I'm also going to be analyzing different series I'm really interested in. Right now I'm focusing on Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Depending on when you're watching this, I'm probably on to the next thing. But Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has my heart right now, so that is what I'll be focusing on for the time being, and trying to read a couple books in between. I don't think Revolutionary Road will be my first, but it'll be up there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the concept. If you try it out, let me know, and make sure to tag me as well so I can watch your video. Bye!